Hi there, welcome to Eduretics, where we make your high school life simple. So continuing on our mixed practice series for the reading and writing practice for the digital SAT. This is part 2 of the same. So I hope you've all done the part 1 of mixed practice and downloaded the worksheets from the free resources section of the Eduretics website. Okay, so practice alongside. I'm mixing all the different topics and difficulty levels so that we are able to do a comprehensive practice, a wholesome practice. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know on the comments or send across an email. Okay, let's begin. To download the worksheet, you can head to eduretics.com as written here and go to free resources section here. You can see all the different resources that we're offering for free: digital SAT reading and writing practice, digital SAT math, and some quick math reference sheets. Okay, these can be very useful for some quick concept revision. They're very relevant to the SAT syllabus, so exponents and radicals, exponential functions, quadratic functions, those things. Okay, let's begin with today's worksheet. Okay, and it's best to watch this video at 1.5x because I might be really slow for a lot of people. Okay, so question number 1, let's take a look. First of all, we read the question instruction. Which choice completes the sentence with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Okay, so here's the blank. Identify the blank, that's part of our strategy. Then read the idea just before and the idea just after. The newly released documentary, blank, audiences with its stunning visuals and compelling narrative, keeping them engaged from start to finish. Okay, so they're mostly talking about this newly released documentary, which has some stunning visuals and compelling narrative. So mostly it's keeping the audience hooked. So let's see which is the closest word to that. Option A is bored, not at all. Captivated, yep. Confused, no. Distracted, no. Very clearly the answer is captivated because that is the nearest word to match this tone, the compelling narrative and stunning visuals. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question number 2. Which choice best states the main idea of the text? Okay, main idea. For these questions, we need to read the complete text. Okay, so let's check. Renewable energy offers a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels, but its adoption comes with challenges. High upfront costs and the need for infrastructure development can hinder progress, yet renewable energy remains essential for addressing climate change. Okay, so it's talking about the renewable energy being better than fossil fuels, going from a climate change perspective, but there are challenges associated with using renewable energy. Let's see which option captures it in the best way. Okay, the adoption of renewable energy faces challenges, but is essential for reducing emissions. Yup, looks to be the best, but let's see. Renewable energy is a short-term solution to climate issues? No, nowhere has it been mentioned. Climate change cannot be solved by using renewable energy alone. No, nothing of that sort has been mentioned. Instead, it has been mentioned that climate change can be solved using renewable energy, although no mention about it being the only option. Wind energy is the most viable alternative to fossil fuels. We don't even have the name wind energy in the whole text, so no. Option A is the correct one, covers the essence most comprehensively. Okay. Let's look at the third question. Question number 3. Okay, I forgot to read the instruction first. Let's read the instruction. According to the text, why are coral reefs often referred to as the rainforests of the sea? Okay, so we need to look for this idea in the text. Okay. Coral reefs are biodiversity hotspots that support thousands of marine species. Their role in maintaining ecological balance is comparable to that of rainforests on land, making them crucial for the health of ocean ecosystems. Okay. So they're like the biodiversity hotspots that support thousands of marine species. That's why they've been compared to what the rainforests do on land. Okay, let's see which option captures it in the best way. Okay, looking at the options. Because they provide oxygen to marine life, not explicitly mentioned, no. Because they're threatened by deforestation, no mention of deforestation. Because they grow primarily in tropical regions, no, again, out of context. because their biodiversity and ecological importance. Yes, this is precisely the idea that is mentioned in the text. So option D is correct. Okay. Next one. Question number 4. The artist's unique style, characterized by vibrant colors and bold patterns, dash widely recognized as innovative. Okay, we reverse the sequence, sorry for that. First thing, to check the instruction, which choice completes the sentence so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Okay, it's that question. Now read. The artist's unique style, characterized by vibrant colors and bold patterns, is, was, or were widely recognized as innovative. So we need to match which verb form and tense matches perfectly with the blank. Okay, so the unique style, characterized by vibrant colors and bold patterns. Unique style. This is the subject. It's a singular subject, unique style. Okay, so is or was, these are the only two which would be suiting here. So characterized by vibrant colors and bold patterns, is widely recognized as innovative, was widely recognized as innovative. So option B fits this more appropriately because it has already been recognized. So I would say was widely recognized as innovative. So the people who saw this, who saw the unique style, they recognized it as innovative. Okay, so fourth question, option B. Now there can be a certain confusion between is and was because grammatically both are absolutely correct. Okay, so here comes the knowledge of what the SAT is looking for. Every test has a certain essence and certain fundamentals which they like to follow. So for this one, although was looks correct and is also looks correct, but we don't need to unnecessarily change the tense. So was definitely looks correct, but it has an added layer of thinking, like the way I mentioned that, okay, the people who saw the vibrant colors and bold patterns of the artist's unique style, they recognized it as innovative. But no such layer is mentioned in the text. So as a thumb rule, we won't change the text unnecessarily. Okay, so is would be the right answer in this case. Now, there can be some questions which are vague like this. Okay, you usually don't expect to see such questions on the SAT, but since we're dealing with the hard questions and the rarely seen questions as well here in this worksheet, so you might see a few questions of this kind, but it's very less expected to appear on the SAT like this. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, question number 5. Let's read the problem instruction, question instruction. Which choice completes the text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Okay. The CEO highlighted the company's accomplishments, comma, and there's a blank, the challenges that lay ahead. Okay. So the CEO talked about the accomplishments and then the challenges that are waiting ahead. So he would have explained the challenges that lay ahead. Let's look at the options. Ignoring the challenges that lay ahead, we don't expect any CEO to do that. It's an extreme word, so no. While also addressing the challenges that lay ahead. Makes sense, makes perfect sense. Yep. Okay. Despite dismissing, no CEO would dismiss the challenges, and it's not explicitly mentioned as well anywhere. Okay. Amplifying the challenges that lay ahead. Amplifying can be used in two different ways here. Amplifying, one way to understand amplifying could be that he is stressing upon the challenges, or amplifying in its literal sense can mean that he is amplifying or further making the challenges that lay ahead bigger. Okay, so that's not the case here. It's too confusing to be used in this case. The most comprehensively fitting to this question is while also addressing. It makes perfect sense when you read the sentence with this blank, so that's correct. Okay. Question number 6. As used in the passage, the word prolific most nearly means. Okay. So let's identify where the word prolific is written, then read it. The prolific writer published over 50 novels in her lifetime, earning her a reputation as one of the most productive authors of her generation. Okay. So she wrote a lot of novels. That's what is being stressed upon through the sentence. that she earned a reputation of being the most productive authors. So she used her time most productively and produced the maximum output. So prolific could certainly mean, could be drawn as a parallel to producing a high output. Let's see in the options. Option A, productive. Yep, does look like that. From as in the context of this passage. Yep. Inexperienced. No. Versatile has not been mentioned. Versatile means being able to write in different styles, or versatile in general means being able to adapt to various different styles, but not mentioned here anywhere. So no. Creative, again, nowhere. The text is specifically talking about the quantity of the content generated by her. So that means productivity is at the core of this text. So option A is the correct one. Prolific in its literal sense might not entirely mean productive, but that's the whole purpose of keeping these questions on the SAT. They want you to think of the meaning in context of what is written. Okay, let's go ahead. Question number 7. Let's read the question instruction. Which choice best summarizes the main idea of the passage? For these questions, we read the entire thing. No shortcuts. Early aviation pioneers laid the groundwork for modern flight, overcoming significant challenges through ingenuity and perseverance. Although many faced repeated failures, their successes transformed human mobility and inspired future innovation. Okay, so it's talking about aviation pioneers, okay, early aviation pioneers who faced a lot of challenges and difficulties before eventually finding success in mobility and aviation. Okay, let's look at the options. Option A. Modern flight owes its development to the ingenuity and perseverance of aviation pioneers. Yep, makes sense. This is correct because they're saying, yeah, early aviation pioneers laid the groundwork for modern flight. Modern flight, this word is mentioned here explicitly. And the idea again is mentioned, ingenuity, perseverance. They've taken the core ideas of the passage and aviation pioneers. So looks correct by far. Let's look at any other option which could be better representing the idea. Option B. Early aviators were fearless but unsuccessful in their endeavors. See, writing the word unsuccessful, declaring them unsuccessful directly. This is too extreme. On the SAT, as a matter of history and statistics that we've seen on the SAT, they don't really write mean or really negative stuff. Okay. So negative or detrimental to the society, they don't write such things. So no. The history of aviation is marked by failures more than successes. No, again, too extreme. Aviation pioneers relied heavily on trial and error methods to achieve success. Nowhere has it been mentioned. Could have been correct had it been mentioned, but nowhere has it been mentioned. We won't invent any extra information, anything that's not presented literally or explicitly. So option A is the correct one for this. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 8. Let's look at the question instruction. According to the passage, why was the telescope considered revolutionary during its invention? Okay. Why was the telescope considered revolutionary during its invention? This is the thing, the answer to which we need to find from the text given. Let's read the text. By allowing scientists to observe celestial bodies with unprecedented clarity. Observing celestial bodies with unprecedented clarity, the telescope revolutionized astronomy. Okay. It provided evidence supporting the heliocentric model of the universe and expanded humanity's understanding of space. Okay. These science-oriented passages, they have a lot of details in them. And the best way to answer these kind of questions where they posed a very specific question to you, why was the telescope considered revolutionary during its invention? Look for detail-oriented stuff in the options as well. Okay. Instead of looking just for generic text. So let's look at option A. It allowed scientists to see distant planets for the first time. Till here it's correct. To see the distant planets. For the first time. Not mentioned. So not explicitly mentioned, and it's a big claim. So no. It was the first instrument to use lenses for magnification. Additional unnecessary information invented or generated for us, we'll understand it this way only. Whatever was not written in the passage is invented or generated additionally. Okay, we don't know what magnification is, we don't know what lenses are, we only know what's written here. Okay, wrong. Option C, it enabled the study of microscopic organisms. Okay, suddenly they transcend to biology. Wrong again. Okay, so just by the process of elimination, option D is correct, but let's also see what option D has. It provided evidence for a heliocentric model of the universe. Absolutely correct. They've used the exact words, the exact phrase which was mentioned in the passage. No additional information that is invented. So option D is absolutely correct. Okay. Keep it really simple while you're doing these kind of questions, because they can get really subjective and confusing at times if you think too much. So let's look at the next question on that note. Question number 9. Which choice completes the sentence so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? Okay, let's look at the blank. It's right here. Let's read the idea before and idea after. The committee debated whether the policy dash effective, fair, and easy to implement. So the community debated. The tense is in past. Okay, they debated whether the policy, this is the subject, singular subject. Okay, not plural but singular subject. So use the verb form that is singular. Were is gone, are is gone. Singular verb form and past tense. You have the exact answer, was. Singular and past tense. Okay, so was is correct. Let's go to the next one. Question 10. Which choice completes the text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? Okay, here's the blank. Read the idea before and idea after. The experiment revealed unexpected results, comma, dash, scientists to rethink their initial hypothesis. Okay, so the idea which you can get from here is that the experiment which was done revealed something unexpected, because of which the scientists had to rethink their initial understanding or thinking. Okay, so this might be a word which represents some force on the scientists, but let's check in the options. So option A, forcing, looks correct for now. Yep. Let's look at the other options to see if any option is better than this. Okay, so option A was forcing, which looks correct. Option B is allowing. Allowing is a very mellowed down word according to the context in which it's being used here. So allowing would not be correct. It does not represent or present the same intensity with which the rest of the text is written. Option C, discouraging. No. Why would scientists get discouraged? Discouraging can be a negative tone. Inspiring. Inspiring can be one correct answer. Inspiring them to rethink. But inspiring, again, since the results are unexpected, that means the scientists, they had already devised their theory. Why would they get inspired to rethink? Okay, scientists don't usually get inspired to rethink. They rather, inspiration or inspiring is rather used in a fresh context where so-and-so event inspired scientists to think in this direction or think about a new approach, like that. Okay, so we would rather stick to option A, forcing. It is a forceful, or maybe we say an intense word, but it matches the tone and the context of the text that is written. Okay, so option A is correct. See, you must be wondering why, since we already found option A to be correct, why did we check the other options? So that is the thing about the SAT reading and writing test. Okay, the section. We are not looking for the absolutely correct answer because it might not exist for every question, but we're looking for the most correct answer. Okay, which has the highest degree of correctness. It's not like math. A lot of questions are in which the options are properly differentiated, very different from each other. So those are the good questions. You must have the correct answers for those questions, which are significantly different from each other. The options are significantly different from each other. So in that case, you can figure out the exact answer. But in some questions, the options, they match each other a lot more than would be differentiable by, let's say, the normal mind when we're sitting and taking the test. Okay, that's why we need to check the options, the other options as well, to see if there's any better answer. Okay, question number 11. Let's see this. Okay, question 11. Which choice best describes the primary purpose of the text. So main purpose or primary purpose. No shortcut, reading the complete thing. Industrial agriculture has led to increased food production, but at a high environmental cost. Okay, we're talking about increased food production at a high environmental cost. What are we talking about? Industrial agriculture. This test explores the ecological consequences of these practices and suggests sustainable alternatives to mitigate damage. Okay, they're talking about the ecological consequences of these practices. When they say these practices, that means industrial agriculture. They're referring to this. Ecological consequences and sustainable alternatives to mitigate damage. There's a certain damage happening due to this thing. And this text explores the consequences and alternatives to mitigate that damage. So primary purpose, to argue for the elimination of all industrial farming practices? No. Too extreme, not mentioned. To highlight the ecological consequences of industrial farming and propose alternatives? Yes. To describe the history of agricultural development? No. To advocate for organic farming as the only viable solution? No. Also, one good thing to note about this text, this question is a lot different from the other questions that you've seen till now on this worksheet. Why? Because this question itself gives you the answer. If you read this properly again, it directly says this text explores the ecological consequences of the practices and suggests sustainable alternatives to mitigate damage. The answer is right here. They've explicitly mentioned it, that this text explores this. This is the main idea. So whenever you see these kind of passages, okay, make a separate note about this. Whenever you see these kind of passages where the author or these text makers, they've already mentioned there what the main purpose of the text is, pick the answer directly from there. You don't need to think twice for that. So option B is the correct one, is the right one. Okay. Question number 12. Okay. According to the passage, what was the primary goal of the Apollo 11 mission? Okay. They're talking about the primary goal of the Apollo 11 mission. That's what you need to find. The Apollo 11 mission aimed to land humans on the moon and return them safely to Earth, marking a significant milestone in space exploration. The mission also collected valuable lunar samples for scientific study. Okay, valuable lunar samples for scientific study. So let's see the options. To explore Mars for potential colonization, extra additional invented word, not required. Option is wrong. To collect lunar samples and return them to Earth. Okay, yep, viable. Let's keep it correct for now. Option B. To establish a permanent base on the moon. Not mentioned. Could be an idea, but not mentioned here explicitly. So we don't consider any additional information that's not mentioned. To test the feasibility of long-term space travel. Long-term space travel. No. Not mentioned again. So no invented information. Okay, we don't need it. No extra info is welcome. Okay, so option B is the correct one. You might think that the correct answer could have had more description to it. The correct answer could have had to collect lunar samples as well as try to establish a safe journey to the moon and back for humans. That option could have been better than option B. But what's given to us, the four options, the best one out of those four would be the right answer. Option B. Okay. So I said this to reinforce the point that you don't need to overthink. Don't overthink. The moment you find the best answer out of the four for these kind of questions, go ahead with it. Okay. No need to overthink or think twice on them. This worksheet can be found out on the free resources section as worksheet 3. Okay. Although this video is mixed practice part 2, but the worksheet I'm using is worksheet 3 under the free resources section. Okay. So make sure you download it from there and practice it. Go through the solutions as well. If there are any discrepancies or confusions, don't hesitate to reach out or point out in the comments. Okay. Let's meet in the next part. Bye-bye. Take care.